Damn, gotta do some gold mining. Look at that price of gold. No, not this gold. This is where price of gold is. And right now, Sunny is in the middle of it. Sunny actually is in a little bit of a controversy right now. Funny enough, he also needs it to reach 1600, which is what we're gonna push for as the premise of the video, but I'll let you guys understand how price of gold works and why I created it. So the first thing first is the Demon of Ignorance. Yes, a demon that took a lot of damage recently, or over time. Now it's at minus 30 pretty much. And I think it's broken. Yeah, broken. If you type in broken, you get the list of broken things, which is obviously Hearthstone and Ignorance. And I'm glad, without a super fan that I have also posting comments and making themselves known that they watch most of my videos, all of a sudden. Again, I don't really recommend, but if you have nothing better to do, if you hit rock bottom, fantastic. We can hang out, be friends. I'll try not to leave YouTube for any particular reason. But because it's just very satisfying to collect knowledge and stuff. And it makes me feel less lonely. Especially when you get to live in Europe, in the loneliest place in the world. Fantastic. Anyways, because Europe is like a bunch of islands that sort of are stitched together, but that makes it worse. Because now you become invisible. As an island, you are visible. Even Mr. Beast wants to own you and stuff. But as a continent of a bunch of countries that don't speak with each other, it's a lonely place. Alright? And there's no big celebrities, we don't know each other very well. The best we can do is squeeze out a fucking Eurovision every now and then, and that sucks. Because I don't really respect Eurovision. Eurovision is over here and it's not gold. It could be gold. I could spend more time. But it's not gold. So go away. And probably will never be gold. But, I already made a video about our local Eurovision, and then I'll do the global Eurovision. And even with my local one, I had to squeeze really hard. So the price of gold right now is 1564. And the way it works, I have special rules of whether I should grow ignorance or reduce it. So right now it's taking amazing amount of damage. I feel blessed that my videos are being watched. However, once we reach 250 of watch time, things gonna get weird. Or rather, 2,500 of gold value. Things gonna get weird because I don't want for people to just watch my videos. I obviously want them to subscribe and comment their own opinions, in case you have some. Yes, maybe in America there's lack of love or whatever, and people want to keep it to themselves. And opinion is also considered the highest level of expression of love. I don't know, man. I don't know. It's rare. It's rare everywhere. So for different reasons, potentially. But, yeah, so receiving comments on my video specifically where opinion is required, everything else is trash. So I don't consider it's a comment if it's just one-liner, if people are just really restraining themselves, if I have not learned anything new, then it's pointless. It's not a comment, it's just something that distracted me. But technically it is, because you have to value everything you receive. So, unless it's purely hate comment that, I don't know, it that has been repeated many times, and I literally see no value in it, then it's not a comment, it's a hater comment or whatever. It goes to a different category. But it's still, I actually put so many things into the comment category. Like, you can't fall off unless you just farted. I don't think that's a comment. That's, again, maybe the only exception. So yeah, I appreciate my channel seems to grow. Who knows? Or I just have a gun on my head called Superfan, where it's like, please keep on making the videos that I like, or I will unsubscribe. But yeah, if you hit rock bottom and you want to spend time with me, congratulations. I'm very glad. Because any watch time helps. Even one person can bump my watch time to ridiculous amount, because I put up a lot of, watchable time. So if you divide this by 10, just like I did, remove the 4 last digit, you get this. The minimum requirement. Yes, I can multiply by 7, but the idea is it's around 1,000, the requirement, right? And if you look into my stats, right now I have like 3,000, which is a high score. You can project 2,000 in most weeks, and hitting 1,000 is basically impossible. So this rule probably is not going to be broken. And maybe if I break the rule, I'm going to be a lot more strict. But right now, if I break the rule, I will start counting by how much. Alright? Every 40 points is going to heal ignorance and going to give a power boost. A power boost is just a click with this button. Zap 'em. Fairly simple. Next, and again, the most important rule is if I don't receive comments for every 250 of watch time, so in this case, again, I have like 3,000, so I can receive subscribers' comments, meaning I have to receive 12. It's not much. I'm not asking for much. 12. I probably receive like 3. So, that is definitely gonna bump the score, but luckily the price of gold is lower than 250 right now. Alright, again, it's this. It's way lower. Yes, I know it's math complicated, but I love this shit. Alright, so, we're gonna get to these people. We're gonna bump them to 1,600, and that will increase the price of gold to 160. Fascinating. This is technically price of gold, the divided by 10 number, but you get the idea. It's actually 1,600. Yeah, that's what I define price of gold, because it's the number that comes at top 100. Everything above that, the reason why I need the price of gold and why it's interconnected with ignorance, or fight against ignorance, is yes, it's watch time, but what am I comparing my watch time to, right? I'm comparing to my knowledge, to the amount of time I've spent clicking buttons. Because I click buttons because I watch people's content, and I watch people's content that has actual influence on the platform. It's not just like random TikToks, because it all goes to one place, TikTok. TikTok consumes everything. It's like a black hole. You can't stand out on TikTok as a creator. It's not that easy. You can stand out as a meme, and memes are not respectable. Memes are very repetitive. So unfortunately, there's no real creators on TikTok. Alright, you can't just turn yourself into a creator by producing 3 or less minute videos. So unfortunately, it's too hard. But if I did just that, and I actually acknowledged these random creators, I probably would not be able to increase price of gold, because I would keep switching the creator. You know, I would accumulate a lot of them, but the price of gold is determined by how much knowledge I've accumulated uh, with actually influential creators that I would be able to recommend for people to watch, and they would get a lot of, content to consume and explore. So, top 100 creators, this is also the thing that determines what goes into YouTube Rewind. So, my personal YouTube Rewind, but it's probably going to be the YouTube Rewind eventually. People just have to acknowledge that I am YouTube CEO and I want to get paid for it. A little bit. Again, I'm not greedy. I can be paid 10% of what an average decent YouTuber makes. 10%, and I already live a wonderful, luxurious life, and I can flex on people. Can you imagine? So, all right. So, yeah, Sunny is at top 100. That's the price of gold. And that's how I compare it, making a minimum requirement. If that gets broken, if there's not enough comments or subscriptions, and now, also negative subscriptions, maybe even negative comments are going to be like a part of that, because it's noise. I don't want noise in my comment section. If I block someone, if I have to block someone, you lose. All your comments become negative, potentially. All your effort that you put in, you have wasted all of that effort. But it still seems like a comment, right? It still seems like a sacrifice that I can capture. But negative subscription without comments is kind of heartbreaking, because maybe it requires a lot more points. It's confusing because I heal ignorance. All right, this positive plus heart is actually negative because we're dealing with demons here. We're loving demons. All right, you have to flip in your brain a light switch. So this is positive. This one is positive. For every single price of gold, we get to punch ignorance in the face. So how does that work? So right now, if I had to evaluate, I have 3K watch time. All right, I'm not gonna get into details. Probably it's impossible for me to get the exact number. So 3K is good enough for me. 3K. So, how do we do the math? We divide 3,000 by this number. And the minimum requirement is 7. All right, so we remove 7, and this is what we have been able to accumulate this week. All right, 12 points. Ignorance is going to be punched 12 times, and potentially it literally just dies. It literally dies until further notice. All right, if I punch it 12 times, yeah, it's gonna do a lot of damage. I can still calculate, and I love to do that. So if I multiply this by 12, the amount of damage is 400, and that just kills ignorance entirely. Yes, this month is even better than before. I've received 117 watch time, and I will break that record easily in the end of the month. Maybe not by much, but it looks pretty decent to me. I'm getting better and better with just making YouTube videos. And you can only do that by actually making them. Some YouTubers think they can just be lazy and not, make YouTube videos anymore. Or very sparsely do that. Like, if you truly committed to the platform, you have to come up with a way to kind of at least show up once a week. But it's better to do more often than that. Or diversify your content at the same time. If you cannot do just one type of content, why did you commit it to one type of content, right? It sucks that communities suck people in, and now once their expectations are established, well, it's really tough to break them. You know, to do what you want. I say it's a 50-50 split. You can always negotiate that split with your audience, where 50% of the time you do whatever the fuck you want, and 50% of the time you will literally just listen to your audience in case they have something to say, or you just read the expectations from the ether, I don't know, of whatever you have been doing this far that people subscribe to. But yeah, I think it's a very fair split. You don't even have to make a new channel for it. And this might inspire a lot of stuff. Except my greatest example for sanity content, Captain Sparkles, has went into the deep end and created a video called I'm a Mess. And I love these videos, but if you have to make a sanity content that's called I'm a Mess, that's cool, you can do that, but maybe try not to do that, because that is self-sabotage, and that's not sanity. That's you losing sanity, but that's what happens, alright? Once people start making sanity content, they will slowly descend into insanity, because they will realize, holy shit, I want these videos to have a lot of meaning, but I don't know how to do them anymore, because I never fucking done them to begin with. So it was really weird, dude. But I enjoy these. These are the ones I actually watch. Minecraft videos is garbage. But I see more and more people actually make rant-based videos. At least I can give you, again, 3 examples. Captain Sparkles, Dark Matter, and Eric Dubay. And maybe there's even more examples that I'm not aware of. But this is how it looks like. You know, it's not 50-50 as you can see. But we're getting there, guys. We're getting there. This had just happened like last year. I even featured Captain Sparkles in YouTube Rewind specifically for this reason. Well, not for this reason. That was the meme. That is his meme right now. That he made it. He figured out how to make sanity content almost by an accident. So that's fascinating. If you need an example of how that looks like, you can check it out. So, but you need to, have the context of, like, he's making Minecraft videos and then he talks to the camera for like 10 minutes. And this is new. This is like completely new, guys. Unheard of. Technically, he would do something like that, but he went viral because of that. So people feel that it's new. And I agree with that for the most part. Because you want the realism as well. You want to know how a creator feels like with themselves or overall. To be able to, like, help understand them. All these nice human things, basically. Like, truly connect. It's absolutely priceless. So, I just make 100% sanity content. There's no expectations on my channel. I can upload whatever the fuck I want, and I'm not constrained to any community. Besides, maybe you can treat me as like a podcaster or whatever. But no, I'm just streaming my interests about YouTube, most importantly, of me just exploring the internet. But, and technically doing my job at this point, because now I have a title, and I think it's a pretty solid title that people can't really argue with. without losing their fucking minds. So yeah, I would be able to punch ignorance and defeat it, but the moment price of gold becomes expensive, I think things are gonna get pretty ugly. Now, how would I calculate this? Because I actually didn't put this into account. All right. So when we did this and got to the number 12, there's one more number that needs to be addressed. So we do another math problem with the same 3,000, and we divide it by 250. So we get another 12, and now we look at the comment section, how many comments we received, how many subscribers we received, and technically, let's say it's just 2. I also look into the Discord activity. Alright, if there's Discord activity that's interesting, that's also a point. So maybe like I received 3 points. So overall, we get number 9. So I would be able to punch ignorance only 3 times. Not much. Ignorance still alive. And as price of gold grows, it probably grows a lot faster than my channel watch time or willingness for people to make comments. Well, the demon of ignorance grows. What is the consequence? I don't know. Demons are very tricky to understand, but they're just scary enough to where you just don't want that to happen. You just don't want that to happen. And so that's that. That's the introduction to the gold. And sometimes I will make these videos where we're hitting the price of gold to be 100 points more. Every time I hit the price of gold, YouTube map is greeted by another top 100, snapshot. And it took me, technically, if we do this today, which is April 21st, if we do this today, it will be price of gold increased in 24 days, which is a lot faster than previously. But this time we're kind of forcing it, so it didn't happen naturally. Naturally, it probably would be in like 32 days or something like that. Or it would just fluctuate up and down around 30 days or something. So every month it seems it increases. Fascinating. Again, it doesn't matter if I just focus on my favorite YouTubers or random YouTubers overall. I have to find influential ones. Those who can actually break the border constantly or, keep up their influence. I have to find 100 of them. 100 of value. This is hard. This is kind of like definition of my work and the challenge. The ultimate challenge is to find enough influential people because a lot of the time they fall off. All right? They fall off. They become boring. They become consumed. And I have to find new ones to replenish, to break the record that they have set. It gets harder and harder. It doesn't get faster. It almost gets slower. Unless, I properly stack these YouTubers and I discover more things about them and I create better and better bonds. In that case, we get better price of gold, a lot easier. So, it's actually fascinating, alright? Doing this challenge is actually fascinating. I established another wonderful mini game for myself to keep myself entertained. Like, I feel on top of the world because I can be the loneliest man ever doing my space adventure and not worry one bit of what people think about me because they can't even fucking reach me unless it's just a titsy-bitsy comment that probably doesn't even contain any opinion. But again, whenever there's a super fan, and they give me juicy comments, yeah, I'll take that. Because we're in a space adventure, and now you're role-playing as an alien. Absolutely fascinating. So that's that. That is the introduction, and now we get to the juicy bits. The SunnyV is gonna be in the end of the video, perhaps. Let's check out these guys and knock them out. Miley Cyrus can be knocked out really fast. I like to start with the hardest ones. Jimmy is kind of like the bonus. I don't know if I like Jimmy that much. You can see, there's reasons to be bored. I don't know how Jimmy got this far to begin with, but I don't think it's gonna work out. But I can check him out. The funny thing about Jimmy is he features certain people that I admire, and he can get easy points basically by bonding with them. So let's see if it works. I don't know. I'll check the new stuff. He uploads way too much. I can't subscribe. It's quite annoying. But it's fascinating that his show is airing this often. I don't know. And obviously there's a bunch of people who would say, this is not a YouTuber, guys. Shut the fuck up, okay? Shit. You think I don't get the vibe of YouTube Rewind? You think I'm fucking clueless? It's fine. Yes, they already have a TV show, and TV dies anyways. TV is like stabbed and bleeding, so you must welcome these people, especially when there's a bunch of celebrities packed in here, alright? So this guy literally represents a bunch of celebrities and hangs out with them. You might want to know what the fuck is going on, and being able to access this easily on YouTube is a privilege. Thank you very much, alright? Shut the fuck up now. This is the stupidest lightning bolt ever, bro. But she fucking picks up on that shit, bro. Oh, okay. It's still garbage. It's like a fucking razor.
Yes.
Oh. She fucking improves on that. Oh my god, what the fuck, bro? Wow, I love that. Let's bond them together. That's the value of... Why did I give... technically, it's her points. What the fuck, bro? He fucking failed. What is he gonna say, bro? Also, it's probably hopefully it's not copyrighted. You can never tell, bro. You can never tell. You have to go to home. Yeah, all of this shit is copyrighted, bro. Fuck my life, man. Ah, fuck you, Jimmy. That's the reason to hate Jimmy. He's still a fucking TV asshole. That's the only reason to hate these TV people. No, it's the copyright content is evil, bro. Yeah, that's why I'm racist, guys. It's not funny. What are you trying to do, bro? That's the sun, guys. Jimmy figured it out. But it's technically Jimmy's fault, but this is nothing. He failed the first picture, bro. This was the first picture. He couldn't even draw a circle, bro. That's why I'm racist, guys. I can't handle this shit. Also, I want to check out this thing. Mark Passio made it to 12th episode, so most popular video, you know. This is a parody. This is also kind of Outlier, also Logan Paul. being mentioned is an outlier. Also, there's my face, guys. Isn't that crazy? 5 years ago, though, while I was in the UK, Space Shooter's also an outlier. I don't know why people cared, but you know, it's a cute little game. And the rest is like Spawn Development or Creeper's Forge. What is the second, though? Second is Thunderfoot. And Elder Scrolls Legends is up here too. But again, this is old stuff when it was very first introduction of the game. A long time ago, I was looking into it. And then there is No Fab, which is Ari. Fancy. The first girl to show up on a thumbnail, guys. And then fucking hentai, dude. Alright. Ooh, Hearthstone shows up, top 2. Actually, it's one of the most watched Rawrens videos as well. Very interesting. So I finally am invading my most popular videos. Finally. You know, it took me a long time, bro, to get here. 5 months ago is the end of the year. This was the start of the year, but I didn't plan for this video to be popular. It just has a triggering thumbnail that you want to click on, basically. You know. So I got a bunch of dislikes because I clickbaited people. Let's keep going. Again, I can't really show footage. I watched Red and Link stuff. Didn't work out because I don't actually watch Red and Link. I just had to, you know. It's kind of an outlier for them to feature a YouTuber. YouTubers, technically, but I don't know. Red and Link feels like some kind of giant YouTubers that, like a corporation, they own Smosh in this case. I don't know how big they are and how entangled with television they are at this point. But it does not surprise me, okay? That feature does not surprise me. Jimmy is trying to be overly clean, but it's the fucking brand of dealing with celebrities in general on TV. Like, hopefully it dies off. Hopefully people don't care about this too much. I'm just, you know, scooping the important things for myself, and there's not a lot of that. Like, most faces I don't give a fuck about. It's almost like babies. Do you know me? Do you know me, Daddy? Please don't show us to the audience, because we're copyrighted, you know? Okay, guys. Don't worry about it.
On your couch. You are.
That's easy. We can shoot them both at the same time. I mean, she just needs a little bump. Maybe they get bonded? 8 minutes is a lot. Even shaved off the beard, and I was still not impressed enough. But, well, she got what she needed. Oh my god, I'm getting tired of Jimmy. Hurry up, dude. Sell your beard. I don't know, do something. I'm literally in the lag territory, bro. I'm deep. I could watch easily one of the Powerpuff Girls, but I don't think Jimmy deserves that much love, dude. No shit. Because it's literally like 100 points for a bond. Maybe like 50 on average. Is still huge. And he already has 3 of the bonds. Maybe Ari like bonded even 3 times. Okay, twice. So technically 3 times. Wow. So how many points does he have? 700 bond points, which is not bad. Literally, Miley has same amount. I'm not sure where that came from, and I'm not gonna check. But it's kind of uncommon to have that much. What is it, like 60% pure? Barely 50%. Okay. Damn, bro. I don't want to spoil it, but no one's gonna watch this anyways. They were winning, and I was getting more and more racist. But then the toothpick gave them 6 points. They barely won, man. Now I feel less racist, guys. Holy shit. I love that. Oh, Nicki Minaj, dude. We might finish this off. Still, Michael Cera couldn't even fucking do it. Come on, man. Can't be that stupid. But it was a game, and there were like 4 people and stuff. So it's hard to entertain the audience, man. Alright, Nick, you can do that one. Best of Nikki, bro. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, after saying, oh, these are a bunch of babies, man. And this is like like a little kid, man. Like, doing some random shit. What do I do now? Uh, just put on this fucking, I don't know, windmill hat, and you got a fucking kid over here. As long as he's shaved. If he's not shaved, he is a wrestler, apparently. Alright, so with that bond, we can get rid of this guy. There's an interview with John Stossel. I'm not sure if it's gonna be enough. Like, 30 minutes is nothing. Even though 30 minutes should be equal to 30 points. And maybe we can talk about it. What is it, Omni? What is it terrible? Do you feel the power of racism seeping from my system? Okay, let's add more racist stuff, because after making all these videos, for some reason, I'm having some terrible toilet experience, okay? Not diarrhea, but into that direction, and my stomach hurts. So yeah, it's quite intense, I'm not gonna lie. Let's just add more racism, because I'm doubling down. But if it keeps happening for some reason, I'll have to back away and double think if this was a good idea. Anyways, John Cena! No, Stossel. Here it is, full interview, 40 minutes actually. Should be fun.
Climate active.
His content is always top-notch. And maybe the best interviews too. Like, everything is like super well edited. I'm so proud of this old dude.
Well, hey, fossil fuels are amazingly valuable, and there is no near-term replacement. That's why we're having all these problems. So the fact that in Europe, modern Europe, they're afraid of freezing to death if the weather gets too cold. Even in the US, we're essentially praying to the weather gods, hoping that the winter is not too cold. In Ayn Rand's Atlas.
Yeah, and then he talks about how we got fed into propaganda that fossil fuels can be replaced somehow with renewable energy. Yeah, Well, congratulations, I didn't freeze to death, guys. Do you like me now? Do you like me better now? We're we have all these technological advancements, but we're willing to actually just not adopt enough principles to understand how to use technology in a efficient way, you know. Again, we don't need renewable energy. We need efficiency. We need to fucking learn how to waste less energy potentially, but that requires ridiculous amount of brain power and not screaming in a fucking room and demanding something. This is how it started, you know, protesting is garbage, bro. It's fucking garbage. But these are leftists, man. Leftards. They don't know what else to do because they have brain matter sold to the government, basically, and corporations and other crap. And the leftover brain matters to use drugs and go to these fucking protests and be angry about nonsense. It's just demonic behavior that we're dealing with right now, and at some point it's like it's pointless to even talk about it. We just have to label these people as demons and just use them as fossil fuels, honestly, because technically these are just living fossils anyways. No wonder they're fucking angry. They're gonna be used as fuel. It's ridiculous. And like it's really difficult to replace it. All right, you can't replace it with electric cars. They have problems, and John Stossel covered that too. And this problem cannot be just easily fixed. Yes, if we just allow technology to flourish, we would find some kind of solution. But solution has to be easy to understand, easy to integrate, very basic thing that everyone can contribute to. And right now, we just contributed by buying a bunch of cars. Not very efficient if there's a bunch of cars, okay? And you're just driving by, like, one person is driving. It would be, like, somewhat more convenient to have, like, bikes, and now we have, you know, changed it to electric scooters. That's cool. We can embrace that, but we don't have to fucking scream that we're not progressing fast enough and in 12 years we're gonna fucking set the world on fire or something. I don't know what happens because of climate change. Because I've never met climate change, and honestly, not freezing to death is way better than having, too hot of a summer. Oh shit. Yeah. I don't like, I do not like cold weather, and the hot weather, I believe, distributes in the planet quite well, and I don't think ice in Antarctica is too sad to hear about that, alright? And it's gonna flood the planet. We don't know. We do not know what happens. We have to find out by poking the devil, alright? We gotta poke the devil and have fun with it. It's the only way. And if the devil spits out fireballs, yes, maybe we can call it climate change, but we might actually be able to survive that fireball. Who the fuck knows? And I made a video about climate change is BS already. But, the controversy is rising. These leftards, they will find ways to start canceling people left and right because, wow, they have numbers. They don't have to have brain. They just have to have numbers and intimidate people and stuff. And people still haven't figured out how demonic these people are. It's unbelievable. Because, if you have a cause and you're fighting for it, but you have not enough reasons, you run out of reasons, that's the fuel that you run out, and now you're damaging society. Because you're either damaging yourself or your message is distorted to the point where no one can fucking understand it. It's just pure noise. So, leftards, guys, do you guys enjoy that shit? Please leave. If you're watching my videos, you're probably not a fucking leftard anymore. But you gotta make sure that other people you amplify your noise because your noise is potentially valuable. Well, their noise has to just be drowned into oblivion. You gotta fight. That's the fight. That's the demonic shit you have to deal with. And you gotta obviously grab as much as you can handle without breaking your back, but it's not that difficult to understand when you're getting strained. You gotta uh, you gotta slowly understand your limitations and work, because that's the greatest work in society. Is just fighting against this propaganda nonsense that everyone is spreading. Propaganda virus, basically. And yes, like when you talk to like AI, the AI tells you that misinformation is the worst thing that could happen. And no, noise, nonsense is the worst thing that could happen. It's not hearing your own fucking voice and being scared and having a lot of insecurities. And if you think about misinformation a bunch, you will be eating insecurities every single day. You're gonna wake up and you're gonna question everything. I am skeptical, but I'm not skeptical when I have to fucking talk. Alright? I know principles. I'm not gonna be skeptical about my fucking principles. If I can improve them, that's on you, bro. That's on you. I'm not gonna question myself every single day I wake up and have insecurities. That's what misinformation actually represents, is a baggage of insecurities. You know, maybe this guy's not right, maybe I should avoid this guy and that guy. No! You're not supposed to build walls more intensely than Donald Trump, you know? Donald Trump has set up one wall per presidency, all right? One wall in 4 years. You can build one wall in 4 years. Big wall for a certain type of group of people. And that's it. Alright? You can't do much more than that, and that wall has to be a fucking terrible idea, and everyone must hate it. And you must probably hate it yourself deep down, because, you know, it's not working out. But it has to be huge. And everyone has to know about it. Maybe that's the idea, you know. I like that idea. But let's keep going. In 3 minutes, I already got triggered into a speech, guys. Into a speech I've never said before. We're reaching new heights. I love this shit.
If you take the week before.
The scariest thing about technology is that the spiritual world is suffering or being choked to death and or freezing. The actual climate change is spiritual world freezing. If you don't know how to use the internet, if you're being a fucking little shit on the internet, or you're being silent, because again, because we have the internet, now you are allowed to be silent in the real world. You don't have to be panicking and dating everyone you see and approaching people. You don't need those skills anymore. You just have to fucking DM someone you like and make them know that you care about them, and that's it. That's as far as it goes. And if they're being silent, they're being fucking assholes about it. Alright? So, that's it. And internet is being misused, but we have this new technology that allows us to make mistakes. And if we're not spiritually connected, we will make mistakes. Tons and tons. Right now, it's a shitty generation. It's a children generation. We're not supposed to be spiritually connected because that would overwhelm us. But that's the idea. If we don't fucking learn this skill, we're gonna either lag behind or society's gonna degrade somehow and reset, or it gets worse and worse. I'm not gonna talk about worse scenarios, but the idea is we have to master this technology and not be overwhelming ourselves, because the moment spiritual world is introduced, we're going to recognize how screwed up we are, and we have to reset everything that we did. And now, this apocalypse is not necessarily, it's just kind of a simulation of an apocalypse. But once we're doing a reset, we're literally repeating apocalypse. Because the apocalypse is fine if it happens once. It is a nightmare when it starts repeating over and over again until we break. Until the society breaks down and we lose everything that we built. All this technology collapses and we have to reset from zero. It can happen. That's what apocalypse is actually about. Repetition into obliteration. It's like a wrecking ball. Maybe it hit your house once and it bounced off, but it will keep on hitting your house until you collapse, unless you figure out how to dismantle the fucking wrecking ball, how to solve the fucking problem. It will keep doing its thing. That's how apocalypse seemingly works.
Totally died out. Again,
oh yeah, the blackouts. The blackouts from the solar wind energies. And I guess it was related to the blackout I've received on 17th or something for 30 minutes. It's the most disgusting thing that can happen. Like, you getting disconnected? Because, again, we're sitting here, half demons, not fully expressing ourselves, in silence, and full of hope that we might connect with people over the internet at some point. But if we get disconnected of this progress, that is the real evil that would happen. Alright, so we're going from this imaginary climate crisis into internet crisis, into blackout crisis, which I've heard it gets even worse in some places. I've heard the craziest story how they rotate electricity around one city because they can't fucking afford it. So they just rotate it. You're gonna get your electricity between 12 p.m. and 3 p.m. Enjoy. It's some crazy shit, bro. It's crazy. And I don't know how what happens when that happens? You know, how do you adapt to this insanity? You lost something really valuable. It's mind-blowing.
and it wasn't
You telling me I skipped a video, guys? I need to be punished, man. This one might be fine because I don't wanna 1-on-1. Let's go, baby. Nah. Okay, maybe I'm just racist on this one. But damn, planes? The planes will crash. And the demons will scream. And fearmonger, boys. I love it.
Every effort to.
I know what I can do, guys. I can change John Stossel into John Fossel. Fossel, man. Almost correct. That would be hilarious. I don't know if I want to do it, though. This is the best one, bro.
I'm sick of it too. Government inefficiency just degrades our lives. However, we're efficient here at Stossel TV. We'll use your money well if you click that button to help us make more videos.
Let's go. For the first time in forever, I believe a YouTuber is gonna use my money well or something. The respect. The only problem is, like, I want more content. And technically there's like Reason TV or whatever, kind of on a similar power level, but John Stossel just kind of showed up there a few times. Yeah. Yeah, you can see Reason TV pops up sometimes. So, it's possible, but no. We did our job. We did the best we can. I don't know if John is gonna stay on YouTube Rewind. I would love that. I would love that a lot. To ending racism. I still haven't finished this video, and I have to. You know. It's still so magical, you know. I started racism, and they're starting to end it. Let's go, baby.
Bar challenge implied.
Yeah. Tell me more. Anyways, is that maybe for the ending? Because it's so easy and it's pointless at the same time. Let's just do the Nikki. I don't know. There might be a shortcut to this madness, but let's see, guys. I mean, the shortcut is that she has content. Isn't that crazy?
And this kid was like, yeah, but you know, if something happens and you run out of oxygen, you die on the moon. And I was like, oh,
Damn.
never mind. I don't want to go.
I know, right?
Crushed my dreams. So I became a YouTuber instead.
Exactly.
Yeah, but you can still run out of oxygen, unfortunately. Weird, isn't it? Especially with the fucking mortgages and expensive shit you have to take care of, and greater and greater competition on YouTube, normalizing the platform where just by making YouTube videos, you're not technically doing anything. You're just an average person, almost. So, yeah, the oxygen supply is dwindling down, guys. But at least she's safe, I guess. I'll give you a representation on how Apocalypse looks like is fucking easiest thing ever. So, normally this is the progress bar. You go up and down stuff. It's the easiest way to get somewhere. Not a straight line, guys. But, this is how it feels like sometimes. Because, this is determined, basically. And this is why we need these bumps, so it's not boring, straight line. Because that actually is very difficult spiritually to climb, a straight line, dude. But, and this is the apocalypse. Technically, you have to take this junk, and it feels like the apocalypse, and it has all 4 stages and whatnot. But you can keep continuing down. You know, and it would still compromise humanity, and regardless how steep this fucking curve is, you can keep going down and never really recover. Because, you know, the goal is to be as high as possible. Overall, to keep climbing. So that's what would happen if repetition happens. Inflation, guys. And demons are, you know, scarier than ever. In the times of inflation, their best bet is to fight climate crisis. It's like, wow, dude. Now is the time? Now we have to solve other crises right now. Right now, you have to turn yourself into Ukrainian and learn their language or whatever. So Russians attack America instead or something. I don't know. Maybe Russians are that fucking stupid. You can trick them. That Ukrainians are teleporting and Americans are teleporting to Ukraine or something. But for fuck's sake, climate crisis, it has to be delayed right now. I know my mom sets on fire randomly every single summer because summers are ridiculously hot, okay? She just burns every weekend or something. I don't know. I don't. I am immune to fire damage because, I don't know. I'm a very special person. Also, I'm very scared of my computer melting. But in other words, I still don't know what the fuck they're talking about. All right, and yes, this is a very different subject here. Space adventure, guys. Exactly what I needed right now. I could not find any podcast. I am offended, guys. Someone couldn't find me.
Hello, everybody. It's the woman. But please
the
don't get
woman
that
today.
confused with woman.
He's not a woman.
Thank you.
It would be okay if you,
But I'm not.
but you're not.
I am the woman. But some people have been trying to clown on me saying like, oh, he's like a woman. And I'm like, that.
No, you're the clown, though. Trying to be different things all the time. That's what a clown does.
That's silly.
what that
That's
is.
not even that at all.
Please don't say that. Thank you.
He's a woo man.
Thank you.
Okay, so it's my turn to talk about a topic today, and this show started with is called Shit They Don't Tell You, because it's all the shit that we had to figure out that we wish that someone would have told us.
Facts.
And how could you know some shit until you learn it if no one told you, right? And so I have been going through a phase.
Yeah, I'm telling a lot of shit myself. But yeah, don't expect these people to actually learn actual valuable stuff. And I don't know, again, these people, well, we are highlighting right now, they're just hanging on for their dear lives, hoping that no newcomer is going to be influential than they are. And very unlikely, but all right, let's keep going. There's probably a few people that fell off. There's something I didn't touch that was very close to 1600, and it's friends. Technically, I have no hard feelings besides literal war zone feelings. I don't like my friends. It's just, we're in this together. We hate each other together. And I could have made an easy ping to this random dude that stands out. And I hate that, You can't stand out while at the same time being a nobody still. Just doing random things. But it still stands out. That's incredible. It's a very hard thing to do, guys, these days. Actually, like, trying and having a personality and communicating. I'm getting exhausted of this shit, man. Then the people are missing basic things, but they have technology, guys. They have running water. Where's your basic skills, though?
To build all of those things.
She's kind of giving a backstory, but another thing just flashed to me. I was thinking like, okay, you were struggling in the past, and someone recommended for you to make a YouTube channel, and so far, recommendation just goes one way, and a YouTuber is incapable of spreading their wings and adding more people into their, pyramid scheme, let's put it that way. Fucking life is a pyramid scheme. But that's how most successful businesses work. You employ people below you. You can reshuffle, obviously. And you can retire. Who knows, right? But it's always going to be a pyramid of some kind of hierarchy. But so far, YouTubers feel like they're just little triangles on their own completely. They're not building anything. And if they do, they do it because they want to retire. They want to replace themselves almost. Or a part of their crew. Because you can have a triangle with multiple entities in there, but serving just one thing, and you reshuffle the entities, you throw some out. I don't know. And the thing just collapses. Potentially. Or if you're just alone, you collapse on your own weight. As you grow bigger and you just can't maintain the fucking thing. So, that is kind of the YouTube experiment, honestly. And again, I introduced the triangle thing. And, people are trying to do just a singular triangle, not a community-based approach of building channels, which is understandable, but eventually this phase is gonna close. Alright, now we're in the closing stage, almost very end, or the last quarter, because we definitely just falling. And it feels like the apocalypse, but it just means we have to tighten our belts and make sure we don't fucking scream to death because of the roller coaster that we're experiencing. We have to make our lives more efficient that way. So that's cool. But that means if I survive, and a reason to survive is to understand that the next stage is another thriving period, and I can already predict, alright? I can already predict how crazy it's gonna be to grow in this period. Because everyone technically grows, whoever is capable of, squeezing through this tiny gap and not undefining themselves. For me, like, it's just almost impossible, right? Right now, it's actually the toughest period to stomach for me. Because inflation it just burns my brain out. It's like, how is this possible and no one is panicking? Something is crazy going on. Something's gonna fucking start exploding anytime now. Some fucking nonsense is gonna come down because people just building dams of their emotions, and it's gonna turn into a flood anytime. Dam after dam just breaks through. It will feel like an explosion because it's probably gonna happen really fucking fast. Who knows, man? That's the feeling, and maybe the ending is gonna be spectacular. I still don't know the full nature of fire, but we're learning every day, guys, and yeah. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to climb the thing, the inclination, the actual growth. But to experience growth while society's in decline, that means, well, I was a very cool problem solver. I thrive when there's a lot of problems happening. I thrive in this environment. Fascinating, isn't it?
So I didn't feel like I was giving.
So yeah, as the pressure grows, people will start probably noticing me and putting more pressure on me because I'm like, oh, look at this guy. He knows how to solve problems. He's gonna help us squeeze through this fucking gap. Technically, it's a gap. I don't know. It feels like it. It feels like, again, the problems are collapsing society. So the things that work in your life are gonna start failing one by one. You know, things you thought were foundational. I mean, your principles basically are tested, and if something fell apart, not enough principles, my friend. So it's the first time you get to experience that, so it's a very amazing experience. But you know, if you're not learning fast enough, if by the end of this gap is just simply, well, have you learned what a principle is? Okay, if you haven't, then lol, you're not gonna climb. You, this is technically a gap to a door, again, to define yourself properly and be able to build whatever you want in this next stage. And if you're an old person like myself getting old, come on, man. I gotta succeed now. I gotta I gotta make it through that gap. So I will try to help as many people as possible if that's what I can do at all. But I feel like, my things are just incapable of finding enough light, that this button game is ridiculous because I use it every single day. Technically, again, it's just my programming, but still underappreciated no matter how many features it has. Maybe if I turned it into a game and fed it to a bunch of children, I would feel good about myself. But I don't want to fucking deal with children. That's that's bullshit. But maybe bridges are burnt down, and it's the only way to actually reach adults is to force children to do something, and then the YouTubers gonna pick it up. It's like, oh, look at how many children like this particular thing. I should try it out and whatnot. I mean, it's society sure has collapsed if our only hope is that children spread our ideas. Like that's fucked up, man. So I'm not gonna do that. I will potentially turn it into a game experience because I get flashy ideas of that. But like I have so many ideas that I want to do for myself, for my own sake, and you gotta take care of yourself first. Because that's the only person that's gonna go through the fucking door in the first place. Technically, we're done with Nikki, unfortunately, and but it's very inspiring to see this because technically that's where you're gonna get your momentum back, or is it here when you're falling into oblivion? Is that your momentum? I'm getting momentum. Again, I'm getting momentum. Only like very, very desperate people, or just older generation, were able to climb this mountain of opportunity. I couldn't do it. I didn't even know how to make YouTube videos properly. I tried, and nothing happened. And after I reached this point, well, or even this point, well, I realized, damn, alright, maybe I have enough knowledge to, like, start something pretty important. And I still was, like, educating myself up to this point. But the moment there was a recline, we entered the apocalypse period, well, I felt like I have a perfect opportunity to shine. Regardless of what the fuck I do, even, I can do whatever I want. So technically, the door is always open, but you have to appreciate the older generations or people who came before you. Not even older generations, the same people who just tried a little bit harder on that specific platform. So that way you can just like rewind and go through the same door and sort of start from here. You're not gonna get all the benefits. So I'm not gonna get all the subscribers. Everyone left. I get an empty pot. I can maybe punch certain people and get their subscribers. But I gotta start from zero, and I barely had, that thing. I was doing something else. I uploaded a few videos, so reinventing this climb wasn't too difficult. I also watched YouTube stuff, so pretending that I was a YouTuber this whole time is not impossible for me. Getting 10,000 views on a video is pretty fancy, I'm not gonna lie. But besides that, it's still a joke compared to everyone else, who again started from the very beginning, who got sucked in. But again, you must understand it's mostly luck. If you're my age and stuff, it's mostly luck. And Nikki says the same thing, that is just a decision that worked out, basically. And again, it's quite calming that you can start from any point. It's just you're not going to get the benefits of climbing anymore, because that's now generic thing that everyone did and everyone experienced, and you're just kind of left out. And if you pretend that it's some kind of new thing for you, like, cool, no one cares. Everyone's doing that other thing while you still reinventing or learning the things that everyone else learned in the industry, though. The viewers might enjoy or be hopeful that you're going to reach that level of integrity. I believe I've done it. I believe I can go toe-to-toe now to YouTubers. Certainly, my content can be improved, but I'm not impressed by YouTubers' work whatsoever. Some of it makes no sense. And again, they have to reinvent themselves every now and then to make sure that they're not losing their integrity. And, because rewind can happen, and I might ask a few questions, and you might not be able to answer them. The ultimate interrogation, bro. Well, you gotta take a step backwards. The ultimate cancellation. We learned how to do it, guys. We're learning superpowers just by looking at this fucking bump, Historic bump, technically. Still a bump, though. So that's that. Very exciting knowledge on top of knowledge, and I'm still panicking of like, yeah, am I moving too fast because like no one cares still? Moving too fast? What is it? I can't even hear people. I must be moving too fast, man. I gotta angle my car so there's a lot of hidden runs so people can start screaming louder so I understand what the fuck is going on. Maybe that's how we do it. Because it's kind of weird. I'm not gonna lie. Like, sure, I start here, but I get no benefits whatsoever. Something's weird is going on, besides the apocalypse part, alright? See, the part that pisses me off is that we're in the apocalypse, we're in the decline, but people don't give a fuck. People like just, oh, it's fine, guys, nothing's happening. And that's not true. If we just in denial and ignorance, it's gonna get worse. Way worse than just a normal cycle of humanity. If we just dip a little bit lower, we're in hell. We're literally gonna live in hell. This is where the ultimate judgment begins. If we're not gonna be able to pull it back together, and we keep declining, it's hell. I will have to look up how to do suicide because I don't want to live this life. This is insanity. Then I will start like, what will I do? Even I will be confused. I might not have options of how to leave. You know, just leave humanity because like fuck this shit. Maybe the best way to do this is like starve to death because like it gets so fucking insane. And that's a possibility. And people are ignorant enough that it's a very likely possibility. Like 1% is very likely. Like it should scare the shit out of you that there's like 1% chance that humanity could start failing miserably. Alright? There's still a chance they can recover, but like, geez, even a small failure just is a heart attack for most leaders and most powerful and influential people. It's a fucking heart attack. So, you know, that might kill me instantly and I'll be the happiest person ever. But I'll fucking leave you guys with tremendous amount of problems. Alright?
There's also
really
nuance.
Yeah, like, as a problem solver, I know there's a place of no return. I know that people can get insanely attached to some nonsense, and you can't solve that problem. They can turn into demons, and it's like, if I solve your problem, you're just gonna kill me in the end. You're just gonna destroy my life. Because that's what demons do. Basically, all my problem-solving abilities are useless at that point. If we go down, keep going down, I'm fucking useless. I can't do shit. I will just naturally die regardless. So, there's more and more reasons for me to take this seriously. And hope that we don't fucking hit rock bottom and dig a grave for ourselves. Alright? Yeah, pretty scary. And most people don't want to think about it that way. And I kind of understand, but because life is more about experience, and it's very difficult to convey experience with words. I understand that, guys. But if you're listening to my podcast, congratulations. That's the only way you understand what's about to happen in 4 years. We're gonna get that answer really quickly. We're gonna see the answer more and more vividly of what our chances truly are and what we're fucking facing in order to turn this thing around. Isn't that exciting? Flatline would be fucking boring, but we have this thing. So, let's go to our final destination, right? No, let's go to the Vibe Land. Hopefully Zeddy can explain what the fuck I'm feeling right now. You know? Yeah, so 2022, right? We all know that was the tipping point. So there was that special year beforehand. And it feels like to me, I captured the key of the door. I literally have the door. Control that. And the 100 people who are guaranteed to succeed past that point, because I'll put extra effort to make sure that happens. But yeah, it's almost like I got that key, right, from someone. Isn't that cool? there's definitely a story behind it, so might as well leave it for the rewind or something. I don't know. It would be nice if Rewind actually had a story and it's not just a fucking dancing piece. It could be a fucking movie as well, easily. After all, celebrating the end of the year, you know. But we'll see. We'll see. Whatever I come up with, and we're gonna start working on it at the tipping point as well of the year. Halfway, you know. What's that, like month number 7 is the tipping point? Because no, month number 6 is not it. Interesting. Clarity, guys. Yeah, there's some crazy shit. Now that I think about it. What is the Z vibe, dude? Maybe to embrace people, similar to Griffin, but he's dealing with like big ass people. And Selena feels a little bit sticky, man. Very sticky. Even the ending's very sticky because she's like kissing the mirror and stuff. What is the lyrics again? I mean, like, she's trying to entangle you and say like, oh, we're together, we're on the same course and stuff. We should be in a relationship or whatever. I tend to do that too. So I understand what she's talking about. Now I'm curious about Ari, but Ari is not here on the playlist. He doesn't own the Ari song. Too bad. Obviously, some people think that we're fucking going up and up and up. And nothing happened, you know? Nothing happened. But things happened. You know, and all this AI technology or whatever. TikTok, man. TikTok was last season, bro. It's just going downhill, as you can tell. Everything's going downhill. And it's just the matter of time for how long it will it take for some people to notice, but you have to weed out the demons, because demons never notice anything that is not beneficial to them, basically. If you lose the game and it's beneficial to them, they don't notice. They don't see the decline. They only see you declining because you're making mistakes for not noticing the decline, and they feel blessed when you're declining and you're not even noticing. You're ignorant, falling into their lap, basically. It's a tough one, man. Why, life, you gotta be so rude? Anyways, so rude life brings us to the Sunny controversy, which, funny money, boys. It's what it's all about. Let's see how people handled it. Repsion showed up 1 hour ago, just in time for the party. So, what happens when I sunny myself? Lost it on Twitter, bro. See, a demon shows up when someone loses their shit on Twitter, guys. I'm so happy. Yeah, I'm happy being racist, so I'm not gonna click on the video unless I want to grow racism, which is not the intention right now. I heard about this video and from another black dude, so nope, not interested. How many subs do you have, though? is insane. Wow. So the first thing first, obviously, is just to check out the goddamn video and comment live. I don't know. I'll do it at like 2 times speed or whatever, because I've heard most of the things. Let's go, baby. You ready for a recap? Adventure time. The ending of this episode, guys. 2 times speed, probably too fast.
The Chris Tyson situation could become a complete disaster for Mr. Beast brand. However, it may also provide some unique benefits. So let's begin by going over the drama.
I mean, if you can turn it around, it's gonna be a benefit, but I don't know how Mr. Beast made it, but I mean, he was working from the very beginning, I think, of the rise of YouTube. But there's gonna be a lot of things that weigh him down, absolutely. And one by one, basically, these fucking creatures that he called friends are gonna turn against him, and this is just one of them. All right, I'll tell you that much. The dominoes like to fall on top of each other, progressively increasing the difficulty to handle problems. And just like PewDiePie got consumed by cringe and bridges, and controversy after controversy maybe not consumed him, but definitely drained his sanity into retirement position. Yeah, of course, all you needed was money, guys, and go to Japan. This is not where you spend time when you lost your sanity in some ridiculously foreign place. Alright, PewDiePie has lost his mind. And I don't know what's gonna happen next. But on parallel side, Mr. Beast is also under attack. Under a nightmare. In fact, I have to remind people, Mr. Beast shows up in my dreams very, very often. Pretty much the most often seen YouTuber, or probably celebrity, ever. Mr. Beast, for some reason. It's not like I adore or admire him, but it just happens. With his friends, often enough. And apparently, controversy is very much needed in their system, you know, emotionally. They feel so drained. They don't know what to do with all this money and fame. They want more emotional baggage. Like, are you sure about that? Are you sure it's a choice? Transitioning into a piece of garbage is pretty interesting choice, I'm not gonna lie.
Before explaining exactly how this will impact the Mr. Beast channel. In mid-2022, fans began to notice that Chris Tyson was changing. In the early days, he represented the quintessential southern gun and truck-loving dude, yet beginning in March 2022, Chris began to display increasingly feminine traits, making tweets such as, "I finally got my..."
Yeah, basically his super male personality was fake the whole fucking time. You know? Or maybe, yeah, I mean, he was being attractive, but who knows what happened, especially to his marriage, and now he's just breaking down, and shit like this, like, you have to weed out, I don't care, friend or foe, you know, like, you just weed them out and teach them a lesson, because, again, principles are more important than friends, unfortunately. I'm sorry, Mr. Beast, your tweety tweet is not powerful enough, as principles are. Especially when we all die alone anyways, so it's better to spend time with people who actually fucking care, not to ruin your brand. Unless you don't care about it yourself, so fantastic then. Do as you please then.
Dude. Yep.
But the actual problem is Mr. Beast is way too young to understand the intricacies of running a YouTube channel, he can run a business. He knows all the intricacies of that, as a narcissist he is. But running a YouTube channel, not so much. Alright? It's way deeper than that. And we vibe checked him, and Mr. Beast didn't come out on top at all. And it was a disappointment for everyone. He got roasted very badly. Just by that alone. But it's gonna get worse. Because I never even started roasting Mr. Beef. Alright, Mr. Beef? Sounds good. I will order that then. Mr. Beef. Fascinating. Thank you, Sunny.
Beginning in March 2022, Chris began to display increasingly feminine traits, making tweets such as, "I finally got my nails done at a nail tech." Additionally, Chris would highlight that his facial appearance had changed significantly since the start of the pandemic, which accompanied another post reading, "Okay, so in 4 different customs I had to prove I was myself because I, quote, look nothing like my passport pic, so much that I'm considering updating my passport. Do you see any resemblance?" Prompting replies such as, "You went from man to boy." Chris responded by stating, "Nah, to be honest, I just really started taking my mental health seriously and eating better," yet his Twitter photos kept insinuating that
I never put two things together that don't belong in a sentence. Mental health and eating better. And a thumbs up. All you have to do is replace Chris with a demon, and you understand what I'm talking about. Alright. Demon, mental health, and eating better. Oh, very interesting things to solve, right? Just surrender to madness and whatever your diet is. Very interesting. You should tell us more about your tweety tweet before people start hunting you down as a demon. Like, I mean, that would definitely ruin Mr. Beast's brand.
taking my mental health seriously and eating better, yet his Twitter photos kept insinuating that Chris was becoming more feminine, with the same kind of look
He eats lipstick, potentially. That sounds gross.
showing up in his Mr. Beast appearances. For example,
By the way, guys, I mean, if he wants to be evaluated psychologically, yeah, just raise your hand, Mr. Chris. Make sure that hand is worth $10,000 first, though, before you raise it, alright? So, then I'll definitely do a psychological evaluation of every single time Chris showed up on camera. I can't wait to do that one, if that's necessary.
on the 6th of January 2023,
So there's no mystery of how all of this happened and what Chris' intentions were from the very beginning. I can see that, you know? I can sense those things.
Beast Reacts uploaded a video titled "I strapped a GoPro to a fish," in which Chris dressed in a way that prompted comments such as, "Chris has been adopting more and more traits that remind me of my grandmother." Okay, so some people
He should rename himself to Mr. Beef because he was selling Mr. Beef burgers this whole time. He was knocking off his own brand without realizing Mr. Beef. Because you cannot be a beast and sell burgers. Where do you get the burgers, though? Are you predating on some animals and selling their meat? No, you have to sell your own meat, bro. Find your own meat. We're good enough hunters. We don't need your stupid meat. Unless it's actually yours.
were just gonna ignore Chris's nails. Chris had to have lost a bet. The look is getting wild. The response to the video then prompted countless viral TikToks, such as this one with 700,000 likes, stating, "How did Chris go from this to this?" While others even made the claim that Carl had turned him gay. Now, this was pretty ridiculous, as Carl isn't even that feminine, and Chris had come out as bisexual
But Chris likes trolling.
years before he and Carl had even met. The true catalyst for Chris Tyson's feminization instead seemed to have come from his marriage. In January 2022, Chris would post a photo with his wife to his Instagram, yet after this, the family photo stopped altogether. Fans also noticed that he'd removed his wedding ring, with the ring's absence correlating perfectly with the very first post in which he'd painted his nails. Chris confirmed
Eating, guys. Remember I said eating. So, what happened to his wife is the question. Alright? Interesting, isn't it? Very hungry, Chris is. To fix his mental problems. Some weird fucking ways, I'm not gonna lie. Alright? Again, I hate putting puzzle pieces together in in such a weird order. But that's why I order Mr. Beef Burger.
Confirmed the split in a post from March 2023 reading, "For a little over a year now, me and Katie have been separated," with this also confirming that Chris's transformation began as soon as his marriage came to an end. Chris went from lighting campfires and raising a family with his beautiful wife, transformation.
One second. We're finalizing things soon, but these things take time. We like to keep our personal lives private, which a lot of people don't understand because we share so much, but this is the only time I want to discuss it. The only time. A barf, am I right? I like to, take a life and keep it private, and there's a little bit barfy barf on Twitter. Am I right? Am I reading this correctly so far?
Began as soon.
Health God. Health God. You lost an age, bro. You losing health. You bleeding, bro. What's happening? Also, he thinks he's a god. Holy Jesus, guys. Christ Tyson. Man, there's a lot of beef going on. And, well, there's demons came out to fucking attack Sunny, and, well, Sunny needs some fucking weaponization. Again, I have nothing against Mr. Beef, but, the beef that he has, I have everything against this.
Soon as his marriage came to an end, Chris went from lighting campfires and raising a family with his beautiful wife to now trying to.
Yeah, I think you're correct. That's why he needs campfires.
Be a wife with his man buns and long nails. As the criticism continued to pile, Chris announced that he'd be taking a break from social media. And while there was a possibility that Chris would make efforts to return to his former self, he'd rather do the opposite and double down on his feminine image, showing up to the Kids' Choice Awards looking like this, before making the announcement that he'd been doing HRT for approximately 2 months, which according to a quick Google search is the medical process for changing genders. Chris would expand on this by stating, "Informed consent HRT saved my and many others' lives. The hurdles GNC people have to jump through to get life-saving gender."
Oh, life-saving gender-affirming healthcare. I mean, you'll need life-saving, oxygen-affirming. What's that? What's that? I don't know. You'll have to confirm that you have enough oxygen to understand and to insert oxygen into your brain. But yes, I lose sanity myself as I drag Chris into hell that he belongs, basically. So, just in case you're wondering, you know, I need to affirm my gender or I will die. Oh yeah, of course. I need to paint my nails or I will die, guys.
Affirming healthcare in a first world country is wild to me. Just let people make informed decisions about their own bodies, which received a positive response from both Carl and Mr. Beast, who wrote, "Got you, I did one more heart than Carl because I'm a better friend." While his co-workers expressed positivity, others weren't so welcoming.
Mr. Beast is better friend, guys. He wins every competition. PewDiePie's next, right? Did he won that competition? No. It's not about numbers anymore, though. It's about how long you can stay with the crown that PewDiePie held on his head. You know, how long is Mr. Beast gonna stay, though? I wonder.
There goes a father figure the kid won't ever be able to look up to. Hard times create strong men create good times create.
The funny part is, PewDiePie's time with the crown is subjective. Not objective, not something you can look up on Google and be like, oh, it's like 5,000 days or whatever. It's objective. We don't know who actually had bigger numbers, alright? At that time while PewDiePie was reigning in power. We don't know, guys. We don't know because subscriber count is a subjective number because it's not fixed yet. Alright? I mean, it's very likely that PewDiePie has sucked in a bunch of 9-year-olds to hold his crown as most subscribed. And at the same time, you know, there's there's cheating and going on where you're the most subscribed, so everyone knows about you, and it's very difficult to let go of that fucking crown. So we have to know the definition of the crown, whether subscriber count fucking matters, and was it flexible enough so crown could be held by anyone ever, that anyone can do it, you know, that there's no barriers that PewDiePie himself built, you know. There's some always shady things you can ask, and it's fascinating to me. It's always inspiring, not gonna
weak
lie.
men and weak men create hard times. Weak man times. Chris responded to this comment by stating, "This is just more dog whistling that somehow trans and GNC folks aren't safe around kids. Tucker begs for me to come back when I leave for like 2 days to film. He is
Yeah, but you're a piece of shit, so you shouldn't be around kids.
so loved and happy. Kids aren't born with hate, it's taught by people like you, and my child will only know love. I know I'm going to be a great parent, and so is every other person who puts the love of their child before everything. I made this decision because I
Might as well learn how to, you know, make children on your own terms instead of trying to find a woman, because then it's gonna be creepy. Oh, you already have a child? Damn, bro. How did you get that child? You must have really eaten your wife, then. Holy crap.
wanted to show up as my best and happiest self for him. In a way, this was for Tucker. Chris's response received some positivity, such as, "I'm convinced you're an amazing father. Tucker is lucky to have you and also lucky to have all of those who surround and support you in his life, as well as I adore that. I'm glad you made that decision.
Happy
It's so much
eater,
easier to be a
boys.
parental figure when you're not struggling with dysphoria, yet he'd also receive an equal amount of backlash. You ripped apart your family and took a father figure away from your son just so you could paint your nails and act zesty. Pathetic. He will get torn apart at school, won't want to have friends around his house. A life full of difference and being alone. Must have missed the point in that tweet. How's this for him when you're depriving him of a father figure?" Although Chris wasn't altered by these comments, as he'd once again reiterate his certainty in a new post reading, "It's never too late to start being yourself," which received praise from Mr. Beast as well as Nolan and Carl. However,
It's never too late to turn yourself into a demon. You're always yourself. It's never too late to learn some principles. You know, it might save your life. Everything else is garbage. Alright? I want to be someone else right now. Hello, I'm Mr. Beef, and I like this. Apparently, if you type in beef, you get a cow, so that's cool. First time I see a cow. What is the cow one emoji then? Oh, it's the front-facing cow. Damn, he likes cows, guys. See? That was entertaining. I would have never done it if I was being myself all the time. That would suck, bro.
these comments also added extra fuel to the fire. In a few years, look back at this thread and remember they were never your friends. Only yes men cowards. Hope you come out of this safe. Mr. Beast responded to this with a simple opinion irrelevant ratio, to which the original commenter would state, "I have 30 followers, so go ahead and ratio me. I'll still rest easy knowing that I'm not a coward who idly sits by watching my friend ruin his own life." In some
Yeah. I clearly, Mr. Beast is getting consumed by his own ego by saying that, right? Ratio. Like, people can make that opinion up themselves. But Mr. Beast flexing his own fucking muscles? That's a weird one. At least he didn't do it too hard, because only a few people can understand what ratio means. So congratulations for dodging a cannonball. I don't think people shoot bullets anymore. They don't have time for that shit. They want to have some fun.
In ways, it was
bro.
nice to see the boys standing up for Chris on Twitter. However, the situation has already begun to change the dynamic within the videos. For example, in a recent livestream titled
Is he looking at his own video?
Opening 1,000 mystery art boxes, Chris would once again dress in quite a feminine way, and while everybody participated as usual, the energy and vibe didn't feel nearly as smooth as it normally does. It felt as though there was an unaddressed
I'm sure someone is gonna fucking make a downfall of SunnyV, man. SunnyV has gained like from 1 million subscribers to 3 million in like less than a year, so I don't know about that one. So it's a tough one. Tripling subscriber count less than a year. I don't know if I can do that. I should be able to, but It's gonna be tough.
Elephant in the room, and therefore everybody was in their head, as opposed to being in the present moment enjoying each other's company. Maybe everybody was simply too busy opening packages, but Chris did make these bizarre jokes about Jimmy being female, making him incredibly uncomfortable.
Oh my god, Jimmy, look, they drew you. Jimmy, they drew you so well. It looks just like you.
Oh, yes.
Oh my god, it's Jimmy.
How did fan art? This is what we were looking for. Be brave, be honest, be kind. Mr. Beast. That is my tagline.
Becoming even weirder when each member started to pay each other compliments.
Hey, nice shirt. Thanks, dude. Nice shirt.
Hey, nice shirt.
Thanks, dude. Nice shirt.
Thanks. Nice shirt.
Nice shoes.
For the most part, the livestream was devoid of awkward moments. However, it would act as fodder for another 100 million views worth of drama and criticism. Chris likely believes that people will slowly adapt to his new appearance over time, but is this really going to happen?
Yes, I just need to figure out which knife to wield, just in case. So I'm trying to adapt right now. Which knife should I pick? You don't know. You don't know how adaptation is gonna resolve itself. You just don't fucking know.
Well, maybe. It's difficult to say as the situation is fairly unique, especially when considering Chris's reputation and influence. However, if Chris continues to transition, would it be unreasonable to say that he could jeopardize some of the personality traits which made him a successful member in the first place? Perhaps the opposite will happen, and
He was always known for having long hair. That was his successful trait, I'm sure.
he'll instead pick up new personality traits that better resonate with the current Mr. Beast.
What new personality traits, bro? Where? Where from? I mean, we clearly see the sources like turning yourself into a woman. Like, nah, bro. You don't know how to do that. You can only try and trick the camera. And that's it. And we're just gonna try not to vomit while you do that one. So, no problem. But I really want to be a woman now. Where are you running? Where are you going, bro? Don't run too fast. You hit a tree. 'Cause I like trees more than women sometimes.
Audience. This was put forward in many comments supportive of Chris, who implied that there'll be millions of queer kids who look up to him, although this doesn't necessarily mean that it'll add.
By the way, millions, guys. So confident, it's highlighted. Millions. There's so many queer kids, guys. What the fuck, man? It's the scariest tweet besides whatever combination of tweets Chris has tweeted. Just highlighting millions. I mean, it's either delusion or we should be scared, guys. We should be scared. There's so many queer kids, and I don't like that. I mean, technically there are, because Q stands for questions, quests, and, I don't know, quitting, basically. But, queer, not sure what that means, actually.
Millions of queer kids who look up to him, although this doesn't necessarily mean that it'll add any value to the videos. Mr. Beast has likely cultivated a massive LGBT audience, all of whom are already watching anyway, and if we've learned anything from Hollywood in recent years, it's that adding over-the-top LGBT characters for the sake of relatability rarely works as intended.
Yeah, I mean, now the question is, what are people hating about Sunny here? Like, I don't get it. What's the spice? So obviously I'm gonna overextend a little bit and check out other people's opinions, but it shouldn't take too long to punch them in the face and shut them up, basically, because I don't see flaws, personally. I don't know. Chris is a flaw of humanity. That's about it. That's the end of story.
And is often nothing more than a distraction from the premise of the movie or video. On top of this, it can be uncomfortable and unrelatable for the silent majority.
You must understand, like, these are fucking random people still. Mr. Beast brand? Yeah, it's just Mr. Beast and then a bunch of random people. Alright, did these random people collected some kind of reputation that you're not willing to let go? No. So, what are people mad about? You know, shut the fuck up. Chris going down. Chris' ship is sinking. And just applaud for failure. Epic failure. What's that? What are you trying to save? You know? I can't wait for people's opinions. What are they doing?
Although, as we
Obviously, the thing that they're doing is trying to pull Mr. Beast into the same situation of like, oh, the Chris is sinking. Mr. Beast is gonna sink too very soon. And I have bad news for you. You might get a lightning strike into your face out of nowhere, and for thinking stupid thoughts like that, because Mr. Beast does not equal Chris, alright? Just not even close.
we have seen, a situation like Chris's does have the potential to create an otherworldly amount of discussion, which could be seen as a benefit for the Mr. Beast brand.
Drama is good for growth, 100%.
Thanks for Sunny bringing that up, you know?
That would be an easy way to up my
So you're a
base if I got it,
Keemstar
bro.
The problem is this type of situation is probably the last thing that Mr. Beast wants to attract, as he's forced to agree with Chris's position, as he has no way of manipulating the situation without being painted as the bad guy. It's a lose-lose situation for Mr. Beast. I think Jimmy is in an inescapable situation. If he kicks out Chris, cancelled. If he don't, his channel will die for real.
I think Mr. Beast is in an inescapable situation. No, it's just a 24-hour challenge, bro. You're being fooled. You're just watching a 24-hour challenge video. Oh, it's longer than 24 hours? Oh, I don't think so, bro. I didn't see you for 24 hours on my computer screen, so I'm not sure if you have spent 24 hours watching Mr. Beast video of him dealing with Chris for 24 hours. It's a very escapable situation because the time will clock out and Chris will disappear. Naturally. By natural causes. Whatever that might be, you know.
An inescapable situation is a pretty good way of describing the drama, which is also why it deserves the harsh label of being a nightmare. Jimmy has no option but to publicly express acceptance of Chris's transition, as silence or even worse, disapproval would come with obvious severe repercussions. However, in accepting Chris's transition, Jimmy implies that this will be the new norm.
No, he's just buying time because that's all he needs to survive a 24-hour challenge. He's buying time, alright guys? Mr. Beast has survived so many challenges. You don't think he has a perfect strategy to survive this one? Shut the fuck up, alright?
Normal within the content, thus annoying a different group of
And he's gonna do that by changing his name into Mr. Beef, I think. Hopefully not.
people, many of whom will never express their true feelings and may rather simply click on fewer Mr. Beast videos. If this is the case, Jimmy has no option but to accept this fate, as feelings and may rather.
Isn't it funny, bro? This is the criticism that Sunny got, and it makes sense. Like, don't put up a fucking defective human opinion on your screen. What is that? At least he didn't comment it on this, or didn't read it out loud, because that would be fucking embarrassing. That's some embarrassing shit, bro. We can just dismiss this as trolling, but like, damn, bro, this not okay. Defective human beings have opinions as well. Come on, bro.
Simply click on fewer Mr. Beast videos.
Also, I'm racist, so like, probably that's the defect. I don't know. You were born black. Oh my god, it's such a great defect. Like, if anything, you don't be racist against yourself, because that's the one that works flawlessly. You know, that's the racism that works. Mwah. I don't even have to have it myself then.
This is the case, Jimmy has no option but to accept this fate, as removing Chris from the videos in any kind of way could create an even more severe media firestorm. The only clean solution, should things go south, might be.
It's called Flame Strike, and it deals 4 damage to the entire board, and I have PTSD from that, because they bumped it to 5 damage. And they took it out of the standard, so no more PTSD. Alright? So I don't think there's gonna be a firestorm, guys.
For Chris to resign himself, and even then rumors and bad press will be unavoidable. Whether it be arrogance or ignorance, Chris seems oblivious to how this whole thing might impact Jimmy, forgetting that he achieved his current level of success by avoiding this.
Alright, so let's see what other people have to say, vomit on their faces, and move on with our lives. I'll watch this, that, and is he just reacting? Fuck off. Mr. Beast is finished. It's live and crappy. For Fucking pyro, man. Alright, whatever. Pyro.
Oh yeah,
I don't like
Mr. Beast is finished.
Is a sentence I've seen. Okay, so, and then the Repsian, because I'm still subbed for some reason. Maybe that's the beef. Mr. Beef Man. Give me that beef. You forgot Paladin. Technically, right, what doesn't fit in this episode has to overflow to the next one. However, I'm not making an exception. I'm just thinking that it's just gonna take a few pins here and there, and these people just literally pinned to the cross, carrying a tremendous amount of shame, basically, for saying
Whether it be
anything.
arrogance or
Is a
ignorance,
sentence-
Chris seems oblivious.
So let's see if we can do that. Let's see, we're gonna catch the vibe in like 3 minutes of all these videos. We're gonna catch what's wrong with these people, and I can move on with my life without diving into controversy. Stand alone, basically. Alright? Because all I need is just, gold, guys. Gold. Give me 1600. Technically, I already achieved that, and it's kind of pointless, whatever the fuck I'm doing right now. But, you get the idea. 3 minutes should be enough, right?
It's adults making adulting decisions in their personal life. Somehow, some way, in this parasocial world that we live with social media, TikTok, other content creators, we really just take personal things that people go through on a day-to-day life or later in life when
So he's starting to break down a concept that makes no sense to break down. If you're a public figure, that's your fucking job. Alright? I mean, if you're taking a bag, that means you're exposing yourself extra saucy, man. That's what you have to do. Extra clean, extra exposure for extra money or whatever. Resources. That's the equivalent. You think this job is free? You getting free money? No. It's influence. You have to make sure it's fucking clean and useful to society. What? But personal decisions, it leaked out into the open. People leaked it out into the open. They were too curious. What are we gonna do now? Huh? How is he gonna clean his image? No, he's just gonna accept it and move on into the depths of despair that he's gonna have to feel for transitioning into this fucking demon creature. I don't know.
people get older. Chris goes by pronouns. So
Yeah. Any adult decision. So it's an adult decision to put sex on a fucking YouTube video? How about that? Like, just straight up porn. That's an adult decision. No one gets harmed by that, am I right? No, fuck off, bro. If we don't like your goddamn influence, you're gonna get cancelled. And that's drama. We deciding whether you're gonna get cancelled or not. And if you want to be a part of this drama, congratulations, Repsion. You were already cancelled many times ago, the moment you touched Onision's belly button. Alright, you just got sucked into that. And I don't know if he's gonna recover. I'm just not sure. But he just keeps dipping. He's becoming a belly button master. I just noticed, you know. I don't even know what that means, but he's the master of it, so he can explain it better than I can.
how could you? I just really feel
Oh, yes. Painted your nails. Of course. How could I not notice that little ring on your fucking face? I'm sure it's very important and sentimental. It has a very interesting story to tell. And your self-expression of painting your nails is definitely a self-expression and not some fucking boredom nonsense that you're trying to justify. You have to justify it, because it has to be positive influence to society. Otherwise, you're cancelled. Welcome to the Shadow Realm, motherfucker. Alright? Now you have to spend your money carefully, because you ain't getting any more of that. So, bye. 3 minutes. I think you collapsed on the floor, and I'm not gonna kick your face. Someone else is gonna do it for me. Anyone else want some?
As to how this whole thing might
LGBTQ character. He's a person. This is not a TV show. This is not a movie. This is a YouTube channel where a bunch of people get together and be themselves and do things. To add
Be themselves and do things. Whoa! Whoa! Ducky ducky duck! Be yourself, little shit! Next. You tried so hard and I fell asleep and I had to skip around and stuff. Oh, Ducky wants to be himself so much. I will treat you as a duck then. You deserve it, my friend. I can't wait, man. Why is it August, though? Is it the time your mom died? And got cooked? Is that the one? I guess you remember August very well.
transition that Chris has been going through has obviously been going on behind the scenes for a very long time, but because
There's so many trans people, guys. There's like 1% or whatever.
you will always see the top comment being someone saying the Carl Jacobs effect. The only comparison I can make is the fact that Carl dresses up a little bit more uniquely to the Mr. Beast crew. I mean, yeah, he wears like polo shirts and stuff sometimes. I guess it's a little bit more zesty. The thing is that surprises me. I'm surprised that people are surprised that Chris came out trans. I mean, I knew from personal experience that Chris was actually talking to a fair few trans creators behind the scenes, like years before coming out. I think I read somewhere like in American youth today, it's like 1.4% of like youth identify as trans. I'm not joking when I say like in this creator space on YouTube, bro, it feels like it's 1 out of 10. I mean, there are so many YouTube groups I can
What was that?
years before coming out. I think I read somewhere like in American youth today, it's like 1.4% of like youth identify
1.4. What's that, Mr. Stat? What's that? I can't hear. Trans is just representing, you know, porn basically, which I don't want to watch, so I'll just probably create an anti-trans group very easily. Mr. Pyro, man. I don't know what Mr. Pyro's trying to do necessarily, but he loves stats. Definitely loves stats, and definitely has that elephant in the room, which is purple. And, however, there is no trans people that are purple in my room, unfortunately. Maybe Cyrix could be something that's close enough, but we'll never know. Unless Cyrix's identity is revealed. Nope, I never heard of that. 1 in 10, bro. YouTubers. Well, I don't want to be delusional, so we'll stop watching this video. Anyways, so we knock these guys out. We're not gonna make a separate video about this. Regardless of how crazy the fucking drama gets, unless it reaches me personally, then of course, guys, we're gonna have fun. Bye, guys, and I will definitely enjoy my glorious gold price increase to 1,600. See you next time.